Season 9 of Disney Speedstorm begins tomorrow, and today we have all of the Season 9 patch notes in the newest community pit stop. There is a ton of stuff being changed and a new game mode being added, a lot of exciting stuff, so let's just hop right into it. To begin, Disney Speedstorm said, "Hey Speedstars, Disney Speedstorm Season 9, inspired by Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, is visible just beyond the horizon. The team has prepared a number of improvements based on community feedback, which are outlined below. The first new addition that we have is this Treasure Rush game mode. Season 9 will see the introduction of a new game mode called Treasure Rush. Treasure Rush will task players with gathering special collectibles during races. Your driving skills will be pushed to the limit as you try to juggle picking up as many collectibles as possible while trying to still win the race. The collectibles you have gathered at the end of the race will be converted into season coins, and you'll receive a bonus multiplier if you finish in the podium places. Upgrade coins will also be earnable via objective milestones. There will be a set amount of daily tries attached to the event, and you can see this very cool picture right here for Treasure Rush, where you collect these items on the track and then they get converted to season coins. Honestly, this mode seems really exciting. I'm really happy about this. It's going to be curious to see whether it is a limited event or actually an online mode. I think if this mode was online, it would be extra exciting because I do fear that it might get a little dull. Single player Disney Speedstorm is exciting in a vacuum, but it does get a little old after a little bit. And playing Treasure Rush, while it will shake things up enough and it'll be fun to have to go on alternate routes of the track, try and optimize the amount of coins that you are actually collecting. That's going to be really, really fun, but I think it'd be more fun if we were doing that while racing against other people online. That way you kind of have to balance taking the most optimal routes in order to get a podium place versus collecting more collectibles and stuff like that. Because if you're a character or a player that has almost every character maxed out or has a good amount of characters at a high level, I do fear that the Treasure Rush game mode will be too easy. But overall, I'm still optimistic about it. Having a new way to play Disney Speedstorm is always something super exciting, and Treasure Rush just seems really, really fun, a nice way to shake up the game. I'm also curious to see if the addition of Treasure Rush is going to come with nerfs. Like, for example, will we get, less season coins from the Golden Pass or less season coins from the Daily Coin Rush system or some other place? Are they going to take away our season coins? Really curious to see if that's going to happen, or if Treasure Rush is just going to be a strict buff to season coins. If it is the second case scenario where Treasure Rush is just a strict buff, that is obviously great for the game, and I would definitely love to see that, because that means a lot more universal boxes and stuff like that, which is always a good thing and super, super exciting. So hopefully that happens, and Treasure Rush is just a great buff to progression and a new fun way to play Disney Speedstorm, in the most optimal way possible. But the concept of it does sound really fun, and I'm super excited to see how it plays out in game. But moving on to the UI improvements, you can now purchase items directly from the customization menu. Players can now purchase customization items such as racer suits or cart bodies directly from the relevant customization menus. This is actually super exciting because there have been a lot of cosmetics that have never been available in Disney Speedstorm, and they've just been not able to purchase at all, and now you're going to be able to purchase them. They're probably going to be overly expensive, and they'll be like discounted in the shop or something like that, but just having the option to purchase them is nice, and the Disney Speedstorm community team did confirm that nearly every cosmetic should be available from this new purchase menu, which is super, super exciting. They've also made some changes to the main menu based on community feedback. The changes are outlined below. Both racers and carts are now visible. The NPR progress of your selected racer is now visible. The current season timer is now visible, and a gamepad shortcut has been added to the racers list. This is exciting stuff, more UI improvements. I do like what they've done with the Season 8 UI. I think it looks pretty solid. However, there are definitely improvements to be made, and all of these sound solid. Being able to see the season timer is one that I definitely wanted. Racers being able to see your carts in the main menu is always super exciting and gives more incentive to buy those deluxe carts. I think that's super, super cool. And then also, I think they mentioned something about the collection menu being changed that isn't going to be offered, that isn't stated here. I'm not sure if it's mentioned at all later on in the patch notes. I don't know. I thought that they said something about that like that on the Discord, changing how the collections work, because right now it's very hard to view your crew members, and definitely my biggest complaint with the UI. So hopefully that gets addressed in Season 9 as well. Moving on to the shop, daily specials. Several issues have been fixed in the daily special section of the shop and are outlined below. Players will no longer have duplicate offers, and players will no longer have offers for maxed out racers / crew members. This is great. The daily specials section of the shop has been downgraded tremendously since, like, it's been a while since it's been good, actually. You pretty much just get 1 to 3 shards for characters, and a lot of times they're characters that you already have maxed out, or you just get duplicate offers, and it really sucks. But now that's all fixed. No more duplicates except for the free slot, and hopefully the daily shop will just be a little bit better. You know, it's still more optimal to purchase universal boxes, but I know some people do prefer the daily shop, so it just comes down to a preference thing, and I'm glad the daily shop is returning to a little bit of its former glory. Moving on to Season 9 tournaments and vault passes. During Season 9, tournaments and vault passes will become available for the Frozen and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit collections. Tournaments will be available for racers Elsa, Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, and Hans for the Frozen collections, and racer Oswald and Hortensia from the Oswald the Lucky Rabbit collections. The Frozen collection was to be expected. It seems like they're going to add 1 seasonal vault pass per season, and I think we're like 4 seasons behind. So in Season 9, we're getting the vault pass for Season 5. In Season 10, we'll get the vault pass for Season 6, etc., etc. But the Oswald the Lucky Rabbit collection is something I did not foresee happening. There are only 2 characters in the Oswald the Lucky Rabbit collection, so there's going to be a lot of shards granted for them, and you're only going to need 2 racers to complete that entire vault pass, which is definitely interesting, and I'm really curious to see how that vault pass is going to be formatted. Is it still going to be 30 tiers of rewards, or are they going to shorten it in some way, shape, or form? But it's really good to know that collections that have less characters in them are still able to get vault passes, and hopefully we see more of these going forward. I would especially love to see a Beauty and the Beast or even Walt Disney World collection get a vault pass. You know, there's only 1 racer in the Disney World collection, but I mean, there's only 2 in the Oswald collection, so vault passes are now totally possible for any collection. We just gotta see if they're going to format the Oswald one any differently, or if it's just going to be 2 racers granting you a ton of points anytime you complete one of their tournaments. Moving on to Racer Boost. Racers Vanellope, Wreck-It Ralph, Sergeant Calhoun, King Candy, Kermit the Frog, and Fear are now available to select. Something important to note about Racer Boost is usually what happens is every racer from the previous season that is common gets added, and then the rare and epic characters have to wait an additional season. However, it seems mid-seasons, regardless of their rarity, are just going to have to wait 2 seasons, because Ennui is a common character, so you'd think she'd be added along with Fear, but it seems like we're going to have to wait for her along with, joy, sadness, anger, and disgust, and anxiety. So, something to note there. Moving on to Racer Voiceover. This season, racers Will Turner, Captain Hector Barbosa, Davy Jones, and both of the 2 mid-season racers will have voice lines in-game. This is honestly really exciting. I know we used to have every character being voiced, but this is 5 out of 6, which is better than they have done the last 2 seasons by far, so that is really, really exciting. It means Maleficent and Cruella are both going to have voices, which is great, and every single Pirates of the Caribbean racer, with the exception of Tia Dalma, will also have voices. So that's really great to hear, and I'm glad that they're starting to voice more of the characters in-game. Hopefully one day we will return to 100% of the characters being voiced, but this is a step in the right direction for sure. And then finally, general fixes and improvements. Various game crash occurrences fixed across all platforms, and dashing with a Brawler class racer will now correctly apply a stun effect. That's very good. Brawlers have kinda sucked for Season 8 Part 2 just because they don't stun people when they dash into them, which is one of the biggest advantages of the Brawler class in my opinion. Well, let me know what you guys think of the Season 9 patch notes. Definitely a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of voice acting coming to the game, 2 new pretty exciting tournaments, and the Treasure Rush game mode sounds really, really fun, I'm not gonna lie. Not a ton of changes this season. Season 7 and 8 were absolutely jam-packed full of changes, so kind of taking a breather this season and, taking the foot off the gas a little bit, which is, it's nice to have a stable season, kind of a filler season with Pirates of the Caribbean, but let me know what you think of all the patch notes in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.